Once we have confirmation we're here, we can transition.
It's green at least, so.
Yeah, we're going to just YouTube video so you can watch the round. There you go.
All right. You ready to get a transition? All right, guys.
Real good, real good. All right, guys, welcome to SteamCon USA, the keynote 2017. So we didn't have this on the calendar originally. We started off with a Q&A, then it kind of went to a seminar, and then we thought, you know what, let's just upload the stuff and then make a keynote. So you've got plenty of spoilers coming up, plenty of cool stuff. Super exciting. Before I start, I just want to do a bit of a shout out to obviously you guys making this event our first year over here. 180 attendees, pretty amazing. So round of applause for you guys, please.
Yeah, I wonder.
And a round of applause, please, to basically our US guys over here, our pundits, our volunteers, our staff that flew over as well, UK and US team staff. They're doing really good. So, I'm going to hand over reluctantly to my slightly drunk co-mate. And hopefully you won't do too many spoilers outside of the actual keynote. The illustrious Matt Hart.
Somebody get that
So I might have a few drinks.
Q&A, it's going to be amazing. I need to get the camera on this guy. So yeah, we're going to show you a few things. So one of the hardest things that we had when we embarked on the idea of running 2 SteamCons in the space of like 2 weeks was we suddenly had this dawning realization that we had to actually do 2 keynotes. It's like, so how do we make these exciting? And you know, we want to make sure that you guys get some cool stuff as well as the UK guys. So I think we've kept a few things back for you that you're going to get quite excited about. So let's hit the first thing. So Union Chains, we all saw. Hands up, who played in Union Chains? Good job, guys. Good job. So one of my favourite things was the question that sort of said, so are you going to make the other models? We've done the schools. Yeah. Well, that was the idea. You have to play, you have to vote. So I'm super excited about these. Russ has gone in, and now that we know which are the final sculpts, he's finalised the sculpts, and as you can see, they're looking pretty impressive, right? Yeah. So the development team are now working on this. So we had a design model session in the UK, and out of all the models we're going to pick, we went with Veteran Honour. Honour obviously playing for the Farmers Guild, and she brings her faithful dog, and yeah, basically acts a bit like a goalie with the Farmers team. So Russell's finished off the sculpt and added a cute dog for him. What have we got for the American side? Out of everything you could have picked, you have the veteran singer, who is a spirit bear with some wicker cubs that she now has to protect. Good job, guys. Trust me, that Roy, it could have been worse. So one of the other things we're doing at the moment is, so as you guys know, we're a young company, okay? So during our first year, we were learning our trade, and we begin to understand perhaps the mistakes that we made in some of the first models. We've gone back and started looking at the way that we sculpt our models and the way we actually build them. So they're easier to build and easier to put together. And obviously, we then discovered the joys of PVC and what we can do with the PVC in terms of the quality. Now, I asked this question at the SteamCon UK. Hands up who actually believed me when I said that our PVC was going to be the best PVC you've ever seen.
I believe you.
You believe. Hands up who now believes me. I couldn't be more proud of the work Rich and his guys working with the Chinese factories to push that quality fast, to make sure the materials we're putting together gives us that product that is so accessible to new players and people who are just time poor, right? I'm time poor all the time. I don't want to spend 2 hours putting models together. If I can rip them out of the box. If you play farmers or blacksmiths this weekend, if you've just gone on board and instantly gone and played, put your hands up right now. Right? So, what we would like to do is we'd like to do this with the existing So for this to happen, we actually need your help. So here's the thing, okay? These are existing guilds, so in many ways, we've already sold these guilds to you guys. So if you're likely to have played the engineers or the morticians, you probably pick them up by now, okay? So we have to understand as a business whether it's worth us investing the money in the moulding and the manufacturing costs and the shipping costs to actually get these done and make them into PVC. We literally don't know. Now we would love to do it, but we have to also be responsible, you know, as business owners. So we're going to put it out to you guys. If you want to support these projects, then let us know, okay? And if you are willing to do that, we're absolutely willing to do it. But we don't want to make a product that ultimately you guys don't want. So it will be a case of us interacting with you, let us know, and if we have enough people who back these, then we'll actually put it in a good place, okay?
Put it on a Kickstarter.
No. They charge 9%. Well, look else. You see how Rich moved on before I started swearing? We may or may not have announced minor guilds. Did you guys hear about minor guilds? Yeah. You heard about the rack matches? Alright. There may or may not be a minor guild for hunters. So I'm pleased to introduce to you the Captain of the Hunters Guild. He might look familiar to you. Man, I'm working out. I'm doing the gym against the game. I need to do leg days. Leg days for pussy. I'm joking. So, one of the things I enjoy the most is I get to interact with Doug and Russ, and I can kind of mess about and come up with cool ideas. Some of which may never see the light of day. But if you guys vote for me to be in the game, it will 100% happen. Make it happen. Now let's show you some real falconers. So we've got basically the falconers are going to be the minor guilds that work with hunters. We've got Minerva on the left and we've got Falcon on the right. Who wants to see some skulls? So the Falcons are very much going to operate about birds of prey that they actually bring to the battlefield. So it's all a lot. There's an awful lot about force projection and using those birds of prey to kind of create effects around the battlefield that you can then take advantage of.
Want my money now?
So Union Chains has brought about a change to the way the unions operate. And one of the things that we want to do going through 2018 is focus on the Sulpician Church being the minor guild for the union. Which means that
Yay, God!
So one of the things we need to do is we're trying to, as you know, we're trying to consolidate our product line from a single collective into like repacked boxes of 6-man teams. It's much easier to get into the game and pick up the teams that we play. So we are going to take Season Brisket. She does play for the Sulpicians, and we're going to repackage her. She's got some new friends. So the first friend that she's going to take along with her. I've seen the lights! So there's going to be a new sculpt for Harry, Salt PC and Harry. We're going to have a new model. We're going to have a new model who is Seasoned Spigot. Spigot's cleaned his act up. He's dropped a drink. I don't know why. But he's going to be playing for Brisket going forward into 2018. Now, the clever ones amongst you will have realised for a Salt PC team we need a new mascot, right?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Or her? Now, you have to remember. You have to bear in mind that the internet lost its shit over a horse. Reminds me of a joke. Bloke goes into a bar with a giraffe, buys the giraffe a couple of pints, drunk gets drunk. Buys the giraffe another couple of pints, drunk gets drunk, and even more drunk, it's over. Bloke goes, wait, can't leave that line there. He goes, got a line, mate. So yeah, the dirty church and cheating and have a loophole and then bring a lion to play Gilbert. So this is Pride, the mascot for the Salt PC team. What else have we got? Gaultier. So we announced Gaultier a couple of weeks ago. Since then I've been showing a bunch of people, you know, the demo that we put together. A few people have seen it today. Yeah?
Minotaur
You like it?
Yeah.
We got some new models to show you. So these are the orcs that are going to take place in the world of Gaultier. I mean, art's great, right? But let's look at skulls. Oh, we got Blackjaw. So Blackjaw is the champion that we're going to pick for the orcs to start off with. As you guys know, we've seen Gaultier earlier today. There's going to be many champions within each race, but the first champion we can go with is Blacksmith. He's like a bruiser, damaged con, and there's his sculpt, and there's his buddies. It's a big old boy. And so for you guys who haven't seen it, one of the key things about Gaultier is we really want the champions to stand out. We want them to be the centerpieces of the warheads that you play. So they are much taller, much bigger than the standard model. So Blackjaw is going to be a really imposing orc on a 40 mil base, surrounded by his savage orcs that he takes around with him as part of his posse. You got elves. You got elves. So this is Lorsan. She is the elder champion that we're going to go with. She's all about range damage, as you would imagine. Let's see some sculpts. And she's going to come with some followers. So we've really tried to push the aesthetic of the elves. They're long, limbed, like slender, but Lorsan towers above them with her impressive bow. What else have we got? So, early access pack. So I'm really excited about the early access pack. This is something that we had thought about for quite some time. We think it really will work in the wargame space. So, as you guys know, all of you who come to SteamCon are going to be amongst the first people to be invited to take the opportunity to join in with the early access pack. It's a paid-for early access to the game of Gaultier. What we're looking to do is create a community that we can interact with, that we can help polish the game out, make sure we get as many games played as we possibly can. So you are like a wider playtest group, but you're part of that inner circle to try to help us develop this game to where it could be. And we're going to basically, because we're selling it direct, we're able to make sure that this is priced at a reasonable price point. There's going to be 17 models in the box, something like that. So at least 17 models. They're going to be exclusive sculpts for this particular phase of the game. But more importantly, they're going to make you able to start playing Gaultier, start getting into the game, start understanding what it's all about, and providing us a load of feedback. So this is representative of the final lineup that's going to go into the early access pack to get you up and running. Now, I have had on multiple occasions from people whose opinions I really respect, who have now seen the game. They're really excited about the game. They had that kind of initial reaction. Sorry guys. But if you actually come along to the Secret Squirrel tomorrow, I'm going to run one first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm running another one a little bit later on. I'd love to show you the game. Come in with an open mind, have a look at it, and you will see that the hex-based system actually smooths the game out and focuses on that cinematic action. The All right. So we have to finish with a couple of. Have we got one or two? Just the one. Which is time.
Just the one, Rich?
Not my fault. I'll try to get it in. So this is Mortal, and he is our first undead champion. He is going to be massive on a 40 or 50 mil base, absolutely towering above everyone. Mornblade's got a cool ability where he actually summons sorrows, which are like undead warriors, and he can actually move like towards them and basically smash anyone in the interim path. So he's got a load of mobility, a load of damage. Super exciting to play with him. And that is it for like a quick slideshow to show you some cool stuff that no one else has seen. You guys get to see that first, and I'm really happy to answer any questions.
I'm just going to invite the developers up, so we've got a few more here, so if you guys can come up. A little round of applause because these guys are behind the scenes. Right, and then just put your hand up, and then if I point to you, please stand up and say as loud as you can, and I'll repeat the question. So, we'll start over there.
What's Honor's dog's name?
What's Honor's dog's name? Bryce?
Better Harmony.
Disharmony.
There you go. It's the same joke I made.
Hi. So I heard a rumor at SceneCon in the UK that there was going to be some kind of new initiative, like initiative system. Can you give us any details about that?
Okay, so it's about a potential new initiative system rumor from SceneCon UK. And not
I actually thought there might be some slides on this in the thing. So yes, one of the things we found with plot cards is, I mean, you guys are all amazing players at Guild Ball. I am not. And there are many, many games that I play where I get to the end of the game and go, plot cards? Good play those guys. Oh, my bad. So yes, we're going to be revamping the way plot cards work. The guys have been working on a set of 18 plot cards. The way they're going to work is you're going to deal out a higher hand than you currently do, and you're going to reserve 5 cards. Deal 7, keep 5. Each of the plot cards, you have to play a plot card at the beginning of each game, beginning of each turn. Here's the important thing. Each plot card has a cool effect that takes place for the entirety of that turn, but it also has an initiative value and an influence bonus, right? So we can do away with that. Who's lost a +3 initiative roll? Right. It kind of sucks. So, right. Give me a pain. So the new way the plot cards are going to work is you play them at the beginning of the turn, and they add to your momentum value to determine the final initiative value. So you can actually hard code whether you want to win initiative, and you go with a high initiative value plot card to grab the initiative. Obviously, the effect of those cards is not the same as the cards that have a lower initiative value. And that's the way they're going to work. When are we going to roll them out, Ross? At Denticon. Come back to Chicago. Wait a second.
I don't know if you guys know this.
You've
Mom's
probably been
gonna
good
have
at
a
this.
baby in like, what, a month and a half?
Yeah.
Big round of applause.
At least once. Just once.
Man,
That's it.
100% is more than any of us can ever ask for. What's the name?
What's the name? So what the name of my child? My child's new name will be George.
I think Matt's good. Go on, Vince.
In the last Q&A, you guys said 10 minor guilds. There are 11 guilds in play. Who's not getting one, or are we sharing a minor guild somewhere?
So, you guys are far cleverer than I am. And I may or may not have rounded down to the nearest 10 in last year. But I thought, as I said it out loud, no one knows, so be fine. So no, absolutely, every single guild will get a minor guild. As we've shown, the Union will get a minor guild in the Sulpicians, and every other guild will get a minor guild. So if that's 11, it's not between friends, right?
Farmers have knitters and reapers. Minor guild counts similar. The farmers have planted the reapers, and the blacksmiths have got kind of master apprentice. Will the new minor guilds have some cool mechanics? Bryson answers this one.
So yeah, Bryce's dad is a farmer.
Maybe. TBD. The farmers, because they're one of the latest release guilds, they've just got all the models released roughly. I mean, they're not even out yet, right? All farmers are meant to go for January, I believe. So, because they've just got all the releases just now, their minor guild will be one of the local ones, I probably say, yeah. But quite possibly, maybe, or maybe not at all. Maybe it might be something else entirely fun.
One of the things that's worth pointing out about minor guilds is it gives us a real opportunity to explore a really specific playstyle. So certainly with the farmers, one of the key things is about the reapers and the planters, as you say. So the minor guild will have to find a way of interacting with harvest markers and stuff along those lines. So yeah, watch this space.
From ThinkCon, y'all said that the minor guilds are going to be competitive, but they only seem to have 6 members plus 2 for the major guild. Does that mean the roster sizes for the normal guilds are going to shrink to 8?
So JVP has been really explicit told me not to say anything about this.
Rich can't stop you!
Who trusts us to make sure that they are competitive when they come out? Right? So the roster sizes between the minor guilds and the major guilds will probably be different. And there will be an additional element for the minor guilds that ensures that there is parity between the minor guilds and the major guilds at competitive level. That's all I can say. That's all right.
Really boring question. What's the release date for Farmer Class?
Okay, so there was a release date for Farmers Box 2. The release date is January, so it'll be around the same schedule. I think it's about the 14th or something like that. So that will be the February. So Blacksmith 2 will be February. So January for Farmers and then February for the
With the movement to new 6-player boxes in lieu of single-player list games, is there going to be any way to buy single models in the case of lost or broken models or playthings?
So it's a question about the move to the 6-man boxes, and is there any way to get hold of the non-count boxes before that? We are not going to be selling the singles, but what we suggest is that a lot of the LPSs around and a lot of stores still have stock of the original singles, and you should, if you're a little bit bigger, be able to find that you need going forward.
and you need to change your race.
So questions about union chains and why did we decide as a company to end the mortician's race with Ovilus stepping in and being obvious?
Good question. So, no. So seriously, one of the things I enjoyed the most over the last couple of years is Deadpool, and I love the way that they mess with the fourth wall constantly throughout, and it's something I took a huge amount of inspiration from. And when Sherwin and I were talking about some of the larger overarching storylines that we're starting to really ramp up on, and when they come out, you will see the seeds of these that started back in season 1 and we've been growing them. It's part of that plan to really make sure Ovilus is a real part of your perception of what Guildhall is at. And Ovilus, he saw something happening that the church are doing, he's not happy with, so he had to come in. He had to he forced his hand, it revealed something that he's had to do, and why that is will pan out over the next couple of seasons.
Something that took my curiosity about God Tier, will it have a similar storyline as Guildhall, maybe seasonal based, or could it be more interactive?
Okay, so this question about God Tier, is it going to be seasonal based or is it going to be more interactive as far as the storyline goes?
So yeah, one of the strengths that we have, certainly with the games, is creating characters that people really attach to and really enjoy interacting with, and it's certainly something we can continue with God Tier. The other thing that we have built into God Tier is the ability for us to really drive that kind of campaign narrative sort of feeling. And our experiences of campaigns such as the Union Chains and what we did last year is going to only reinforce that. So absolutely, there's going to be a lot of community-driven narratives, the outcome of which will affect the narrative of the game world. So what you guys actually do will actually change, and Sherwin and I will talk about the storylines and how they're affected by the games that you guys post the results of. So expect an awful lot of interaction and how you kind of affect the world you've got in.
Will there be a marketing on this
I mean, so I think there'll probably be like a world primer. There'll be a few kind of initial short stories about the characters that are actually in the open access pack. The question was, will there be a story bit about God Tier? The answer is what I just said. Sorry, Vince. Professional. Hi, Phil.
Gotta stand.
Oh, gotta stand. Can I use Printmaker to get the losing sculpt from Union Chains?
No. And until we get technology, we can't print clear places.
They're illegal anyway.
Is there any chance y'all would release the stories that may or may not be ready for said ultimate books that will never make it?
Honestly, so will we release the alternative stories for the losing salty fisherman in the room? Right. For the Union Fest. Honestly, no. And the simple fact is, I think you'll confuse the narrative, and I don't think that's a thing that's kind of useful for everyone. So, what I really want to drive home by holding a hard line on this, the fact that we're going to kill the skulls, the fact that we're going to kill the stories that Sherwin has written for these, means that there is actually an actual loss for the teams that didn't succeed in this particular campaign. So what we're hoping is people will double down and get really involved in the next time round to do something like this. Tony.
How did Rich get all his ribbons on his on his
The question is, how did they get all the cool ribbons that I've got? Well, basically, I was having Chick-fil-A before we had the thing, so I just built stuff down.
So, what about timeline? All these things are awesome, but can you provide us with maybe a very vague timeline of minor guilds and when they might be seen?
Yeah.
It's like SteamCon next year. Or
Good question.
A specific one would be good
We
too.
saw with the farmers and the blacksmiths.
God, it's boring.
So the question is about the timelines of releases through 2018 for the minor guilds. It's an excellent question. The bit where I have to repeat it, I was referring to something boring. So no, the release schedule for the guilds. So one of the things we noticed with the farmers and the blacksmiths is they ended up being quite stacked, quite close to each other. And what we don't want to do is make a financial burden on you guys who perhaps want to pick up both teams and forcing you to make a choice because they're coming out at a really similar time. What we actually want to make sure is we've got a fully supported OP for the launch event. We've got, you know, the real full experience for each time we bring out new guilds. So what we're aiming for with the minor guilds is 4 next year. That may ramp up, but we are targeting 4 next year, and they're going to come out every couple of months or so.
Given that it's spoiled, it's also not that great for the DB, it's going to fall to the right thing. We're going to take an opportunity to rebalance the world with popular consensus.
Okay, so the question is, with Bonesaw and Craig, the rat catchers, are we going to take the opportunity to be able to rebalance those models?
So there's 2 answers to this question. One is my answer, and one is the actual development team. I think it would be foolish for us not to look at perhaps tweaking something here or there. But for us, we kind of feel boring though.
I am very boring. One thing that actually some guilds give us a chance to do is look at, for example, vet grades and Bonesaw, and almost see like like because those models are, I mean, I think it's fair to say are a little bit underrepresented in the professional guilds. So part of what the minor guilds let us do is look at those models and go, what can we do to make these shine in perhaps a different environment? So maybe we can look at the actual cards themselves, or maybe we look at the synergies and interactions that we have with the minor guild that they're attached to. And that is about as much as I'm going to say on that.
So to follow up on that, and Richard fill in the details as needed, but we are actually looking at a print-on-demand supplier for the cards, which will actually enable us as a development team to tweak the cards a little bit more freely than currently do. You know, it's quite a restriction for us in terms of the production timelines that we have and making sure that the right card in the right box at the right time. But we're actually able to tweak, say, retrogrades and you know, adjust how he plays.
We go through cards, you might have seen how you use it yourself, etc. It's a software piece that we're pretty confident will allow us to do, rather than sell it, we've got a deck of the cards or something next to the store, and the store's having their own shelves after the ball, etc. This is a much more demand way into physical copies, along with the downloads that are free later on too. So we'll make these guys access to this. Right back.
So, that wall has artwork. You have artwork for it. And it's in 2018, and we get a list of that of mine
We might have an amazing artwork, but I got the artwork getting no myself, which is still going to take all the time. So I'm sure I'll get some if this goes well. And the second part of the question, would people like to see a Matt and Rich legendary Guild Ball players with amazing abilities on the pitch?
Oh,
Listen.
It's a funny story. So we were in Hong Kong, we were walking past, we were walking down the street, and there was a shop, a food shop, right? And it was called Pie and Tar. I'm like, dude, this sounds like a cop show. You be pie, I'll be tar. No, wait. No, alright, then we'll go with that.
Who were the 100 players who played for the Falcons?
Who were the hunters who played for the Falcons Guild? I think so. I can't even remember what. Yeah, 100% no. Let's see if Bryce knows.
What I can remember off the top of my head is that And what's the other one? Is it Egret? I think it's Egret. Yeah. So Egret and Vet Heron unless Egret's wrong.
Solid. It's Egret. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It is now.
Right.
And I was wondering how you guys plan on packaging that. I mean, like Rookie League is
Right.
and I was wondering how you might package that. You know, maybe a blister.
So it's about the Rookie League, and obviously everyone can play the Rookie League over this weekend. So it's a massive hit the UK Steam Forge. We made sure we tweaked the schedule a little bit this time to give you guys an experience. We knew how popular it would be. How are we going to package it when it comes to the OP kit next year? So we're going to make it to. I'm going to spoil it because I'm doing one now. So we're going to look to actually make it around. So we're going to make it like a bit of a legacy kit. So it's going to come with like your rookie cards, and then there'll be sticky sheets to actually stick over the abilities, so you get to grade them. So rather than have a bottom of the cards, you can have a real kind of growing experience in that kit. So the models, the rookie models, we're going to have sculpts for them. If they fund it through the funding part later, match for the super secret in there for them. So
Sherman, should we do a real score?
So Sherman and I have been talking about a couple of ideas for next year's community event.
oh no!
This size. I'll be talking. So one of the things that Sherman and I have been talking about is an idea we banded about for this year's community event that we actually decided to go with Union Chains instead. But what we're going to look at doing is brand new rookies that you guys will get to play and vote for as to which teams they get attached to. So it's part of the drafting process.
Which means this is the 4-star barrel.
Did you not know about that? Do you know what the best thing about this? That counts as my briefing for the developers. And go.
The two major guild players that have been playing with minor guilds using the Falconer or the Falconer one as an example. If say like a new player who wants to buy the Falconer box wants to be able to use those two models, is there going to be a way to get them without buying both of the boxes?
Yeah, so the question is about the new Falcons or Rat Catchers, the additional 2 models that can play for them from the major guilds. Is there a way for any new players to buy those? The simple answer is no. We're going to keep the box sets as they are, so we have to buy the full box sets. It's not a cynical money ploy, it's literally a SKU count ploy, it's simple as that. Like our stores, our retail stores have very limited stock space on their shelves, and we need to keep that as slim as possible and as accurate as possible. So the whole the repack strategy, etc., is all been based around that to help the local game stores stock our products and keep growing.
Where's the world champion?
So yeah, where the question is where the world champ's going to be next year? I'm not to vote. We will. USA! 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 No, in serious, we will, after the USA SteamCon, we'll go back, we'll have a talk and that, and we'll look at what strategy we want to do and where it's going to be. So I don't want to say yet where it's going to be, but we've been super happy with both the USA and the UK. It's super successful. I know Europe are tagging for a SteamCon as well, and I've heard, yeah, South Australia, anywhere else, Ireland.
Texas!
Hawaii.
Hey, with the minor guilds and all this good opportunity to fix it, I was talking to Sherwin and he did a super job with it. So, So I expect there'll be a lot of fiction written. So will it be like a standalone, either PDF release, or we have to wait for like a season 4 book in the fall to capture it? And then definitely want to make a plug for all the little pieces for one PDF so you can read all. All of them.
So the question is about our story basically, and how with all the minor guilds coming out, with the wait to season 4, etc. How's that information going to come out? Where you can put it all together? Is it, basically what's the strategy around it?
We'll buy it for $2.
So sharing will absolutely do the fun bit. One of the things we've found through the blogs, through Facebook, and through the hardcover books that we put out is we have many channels to kind of tell the stories that happen in Guild Ball. But the idea of pulling it all into one place is definitely something that Cheryl and I have spoken about on many occasions. We are actually working on a comic book. So I don't necessarily feel that the right thing for us to be is to be bound to a hardcover book that perhaps comes out once every couple of every couple of years or so. So I think we're going to actually continue to use these more softer channels. So the blog posts are probably going to be one of the more prolific areas that Sharon gets to publish a lot of his narratives.
Hey, is there any chance y'all are going to make patches of the SteamCon USA logo and the SteamCon UK for pins? Because those are pretty sick.
Yeah, so are we going to merchandise the SteamCon USA and UK, logos, etc. So obviously this year, we put the SteamCon USA together. The first year of SteamCon in the UK, we did the patch and stuff in the bin. Absolutely. Next year we'll be ramping up on this kind of stuff. The logistics of getting an event like this together are seriously hard, especially when you're not actually native to the country. And I think, what we managed to do, hopefully you guys are enjoying it at the moment. So,
Are they planning on doing a balance change around the same time that they announced the new organized play?
So this is a question about the balance change of the game around the time of the next one.
Yeah, I think Thresher needs a bit of an update. Sorry, boss. So we're going to focus on the new OP and make sure that that's robust and ready for the next season. What we are going to be doing is we're currently deep in discussions in the development team as to, if any, what key changes we're going to make for season 4, and as a result of those decisions, what models actually need our attention. One thing that we're absolutely going to categorically do is have a pass through all the models and clean up the language of the abilities and the plays to make them much more easy to understand in a consistent fashion across all the models. And it's just a simple editing pass that we're going to do and tying up the lexicon that we use within the development team. We will not do that.
But cleaning up the rules, yes. Please.
Final voice in the work. Here we go.
So, I'm sorry if this is bad, but I have a lot of players in my local meta who bought farmers. They bought Grace and Meditation with the farmers. Now that Grace and Meditation are kind of designed for the farmers and the union, what's going to happen with Grace and Meditation with the minor guilds?
So the question is about Grace and Benediction and the minor guilds and the farmers and basically, the strategy around that.
So, as I think we announced with SteamCon UK, the policy for phasing union out of organised play is going to be that when.
Yeah, you guys are on hot mics.
Basically, whenever a major guild gets access to its minor guild, then it will lose access to union and organised play. As we said earlier today, farmers are probably going to be one of the later minor guilds to get one of the later guilds to get their minor guild. So your friends will still be able to use Grace and Meditation with the farmers for at least a year, I would say. So while they will eventually lose access and organised play. You can always use those models in casual play as well, of course, and they've got a year to get used to the idea as well, at least a year. So I hope that's okay for them.
Jamie, why are we wrapping up?
He's got to go to the
We got a wedding to go to.
Can we do like 10 more minutes? Nice. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes, right. So you have 5 questions, we'll do that. Quick fire, 5 questions, yes, to the back.
Yeah. Hey, alternate deployment, will it be seen in organized play at all in the future? Or do you think it'll be some kind of
Alternate deployment, will we see it in organized play in the future?
That's one of the things we're currently considering. So watch this space.
Yeah.
Right, so earlier we in the Q&A we talked about minor guilds already being in, like they already had their own league in the club. Are we going to see organized play for the minor guilds only?
Okay. Will we ever see organized play for the minor guilds only? That's a wicked idea. I'm going to say yeah.
I've just had a brilliant idea.
This is the story of our minds, by the way.
Mike's writing this down.
Will major guilds and minor guilds be friendly guilds? Will that overlap at all?
Oh. Yeah. So the question is, will the minor guilds count as friendly guilds for the parent guild? Yes.
2 more.
Hey, so is Brisket or Season Brisket going to still be a union captain also? Is he one of the minor soul teams that can play for the union?
So it's a question about seasoned brisket and what my role is going to be.
I've been left on my own by the development team.
I support you.
You never bothered that. No, I'm just changing the case.
So let me, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Steve who's going to answer this question.
The answer is maybe we'll see.
What are these other minor guilds?
We weren't going to say this, and Jamie P is right now in the UK waking up like this. Such a disturbance. That heart's about to give a spoiler. It's a poorly disguised secret that I have a fascination with a guild I call the Lamplighters. So they are going to make their appearance today.
Last question. Will we see the messages in more than just clubs?
We have a lot of opportunity with Mining Skills. Certainly, Showen and I try and get as many references to guilds in as possible, Messengers being one of them. Will it make you happy to see the Messengers Guild? It's amazing.
Alright guys, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, guys.